MacVoices Holiday Gift Guide number 3, Part 2, with Frederick Van Johnson, Bart Busschots, and Kelly Guimont. This is MacVoices. This edition of MacVoices is brought to you by the MacVoices Slack, available to all patrons of MacVoices. Sign up today at patreon.com/MacVoices. Welcome to MacVoices. This is the talk of the Apple community, and I'm Chuck Joyner. Folks, we finish off the MacVoices Holiday Gift Guide number 3, Part 2, as Bart, Kelly, and Frederick help me spend a little more money, just like they did in the first round. Let's go back and let the panel do the picking. Now we get to go to round 3 and see, oh God, I'm afraid of what Frederick's going to pick.
No, you're not afraid of what he's going to pick. You're afraid of what it's going to cost you.
Well, yeah, that's true. Frederick, you're
Be
up.
afraid. Be afraid. Be very afraid. Okay, so I'm continuing in this sort of video mode that I've been in small video, and I think I don't know if I used this pick on a previous gift guide or if I've talked to you about it before, Chuck. But this thing, have you guys seen these? This is not. These are, although this is the same size as roughly as an AirPods case. That's my AirPods Pro right there. Mm-hmm. This thing, however, is a 4K camera that is in a rechargeable clamshell that opens up.
Door.
Opens up like this. Oh, but wait, there's more, right? So it opens up like this, so you can record. It has a little screen there and the record button. It has little legs on the back that pop out like that, so you can set it on the table, and record. It's obviously rechargeable, right?
Oh my God, it's adorable.
Oh wait, it gets better. Tripod socket on the bottom, USB-C on the bottom. You plug it into your computer and remove the files and do all that. But here's where it gets really interesting. So
you're going to tell me there's a Hello Kitty one.
And then I will be doomed. That you can get. No, this comes out. So it's in its little, I call it like a little coffin, right? So it opens up and then this guy comes out of here, put the case down. There's the camera. Right there. For size comparison, this is the 14 Pro Max here. That's the size comparison.
Amazing. Wow.
Right there.
Oh my God, it is so cute.
But wait, there's more. It's magnetic. You can stick it on any magnetic surface. So you want to get that shot, you can stick it anywhere or keep it in the case and shoot that way. It comes with like 4 or 5 different mounting accessories, like one to clamp it to your bike, one to it's got this like gecko stuff where you can stick it on a wall. It'll just stick there and you pull it down. It's got all these things to it. It comes with this, I call it the Iron Man mount, right? So there's a little lanyard that I have on underneath here and you can.
That's what that was earlier.
That's what I was putting on. Look at that. So you can stick it to yourself and do the POV view or ride your bike, take it off. And when it dies, you put it back in the case like this. It's magnetic. Goes back in there. You close it up. You throw it back in your bag and everybody's happy. Oh. The last thing is when it's out of the case, not in the case, when it's out of the case, it's waterproof down to, I think, 10 meters or something. So further than I'd ever go. I've done these little things where it's completely waterproof. It's like it's like Insta360's answer to the GoPro, right? So you can take it. I put it in an empty glass of wine with the lens facing up and poured wine onto it. So you get the shot of wine filling and you take it out, you rinse it off, put it back in the case, right? So,
that's amazing. How much is it?
Yeah. This one, I knew that was coming. This one is $299 for the standalone, but I would suggest getting the all-purpose kit. They're different kits. So you can get a pet mount kit, so you can strap it to the back of your pet. You can get a selfie stick kit if you want to be that person, a bicycling kit, with all the mounts for bicycling and motorcycles, all those things. I got the regular all-purpose kit. And that comes with the little Iron Man thing and the stick on the wall thing. It comes with a clamp that you mount to a baseball cap so you can stick it right on your forehead and go about your business. fantastic.
Dang.
It's fantastic. Again,
Just
if I lost it or if it got broken, I would rebuy this thing in a second. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
I used to be a fan of the GoPros and stuff, and I have found that the single best way to video yourself cycling is on the chest, because the handlebars of a
You get your
bike
hands
are
in there.
ridiculous.
And they
exactly.
shake.
You
It'll
need the
shake.
hands. You absolutely need the hands. Otherwise, it's just boring.
Yeah.
So if you're going to throw yourself down a mountain with a camera, here it has to be here.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just perfect.
Yeah.
That's
Check it
awesome.
out. Yeah, it's called the Insta360 Go 2. So
Okay.
check it out.
Yeah, the Insta people make some great stuff.
They do.
They
Yeah.
really do.
Crazy. Yeah.
Frederick, if you said it, I was too busy being awestruck. What kind of battery life does it have, and what kind of capacity does it have?
Yeah, this thing, 32 gigs on board. I want to say, 32 gigs on board. The battery capacity of the camera outside of the case is about 30-ish minutes or so. It's a tiny little battery in there. But you can put it back in the case and charge it, I think, up to 2 or 3 times in this case. So, and it's got the way that this camera works, you turn it on, you can set. It's basically the whole thing is a button with a lens on it, basically, with a magnetic back. So you can set it in the preferences in the software to behave differently. So you can set it to start recording instantly when you open the case, or you press the button, it'll start recording, or you double tap the button, it'll start recording and wants to stop it. So depending on your preferences, you can configure that. But I think the idea for this device, I don't think it's designed to be a GoPro replacement, because GoPros will run, for the whole adventure. I don't own one, but I hear that they'll just, they'll keep going. This one is for like moments in time, right? Like, oh, I'm going out to dinner, or I'm at this place, I want to record this real quick. Boom, you could put it on there. Or, I'm hang gliding, I want to get this shot. You stick it on your hat or whatever and go get it, and it's done. The Insta360 software that comes with it. So this lens is a I think roughly 170 degree field of view lens on the front. So it's almost spherical. In the software, you can in post aim where the camera is looking. So if you get the shot, and it has automatic horizon leveling, so it doesn't care if you're shooting like this or upside down or whatever. It will automatically give you a perfectly straight horizon. Then in the software later, you can go kind of point the camera where you want it to go, like the bigger 360 cameras that they offer as well.
Dang.
Yeah, so,
Very nice.
Wow.
yeah, so pretty cool. Yeah, the bonus tip on top of that is this little silicone case doesn't come with it. I bought that off of Amazon for like $3 or something, because I like the grippiness. It's in this like slippery case, and something this expensive and this small and delicate, I need a little grip on it. So I put that on there, and it's great.
All right. Oh boy. Okay, adding that to my list.
Dang.
At least it's not at the top of the list. So that's something, Frederick. You didn't just keep topping yourself.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm not done yet.
Oh, good. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Wow.
So I tell you what, I've gotten messages from the chat that we have a couple people that have a bit of a hard out. So we're going to try to speed things up just a little bit. Bart, you are doing your pick for round 3.
Yeah, and so remember I said I'm increasing in price. So we're now up to €112 on special offer, €170 normally. So after I come home from my bike ride, having had my watch stay comfortable, being able to see where I'm going and everything, I want something tasty to eat. And this has revolutionized how I deal with meat. It is a sous vide machine from a company called Anova, the Anova Precision Cooker Nano. And it is amazing. It has an iPhone app, so you can control it from your phone, and you basically pop it in, and I just have a giant big pot, fill it with water, vacuum seal in the meat, put it in, and you get the most restaurant perfect steak every single time, no matter how much of a klutz you are. Whether you're doing fish, whether you're doing meat, whatever it is, you just look up what temperature should this be? 46 degrees Celsius. Sir, yes, sir. I did swordfish over the weekend. 46 an hour. It was perfect. Just seared in a bit of butter afterwards. It was amazing. So it's completely changed, and I just can't say enough things. And for the best €100 I ever spent,
Yeah.
Haha! You cost me no money this time
co-sign
because I bought one of those a couple years ago.
Uh-huh.
And he
Can't
cost
live
me-
without it. Yeah, I have one too. What's your steak temperature?
53 Celsius. I don't know what that is in
53.
your
Oh,
food.
you like well done. That's well done, right?
No, it's medium.
Is that medium? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm right in there. I think I'm
57 as well,
47.
then.
47,
That's where I'm at,
something
right
like
in
that. Mhm.
right in that neighborhood. Yeah.
So we have a new. This is interesting. We have a new category of what is your sous vide number?
Hello and welcome to Meat
it's precision.
Voices.
It's precision cooking, so it really is chemistry, right? And you're reading on the web going, well, if you go with this temperature, it will have, the fat will be more rendered or less rendered. It's pure science, and it's just every single time. It's exactly the same. And once you have it dialed in, if you excuse the expression, to what you want, it's guaranteed. Zero effort. I used to stress so much about steak, especially if I bought a nice fillet steak. Like, oh my God, what if I ruin this? No chance.
Can I throw a tip on top of your tip for that on the sous vide that I just discovered? Well, I personally, this has been around for decades. But with the sous vide, when it comes out of the bag, right, it's still a little, grayish looking, and you sear it to get the lines and all that. I bought a finishing torch, a cooking torch, a physical butane torch. It's got to be a cooking torch because you don't want
flamethrower.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you finish it to the perfect crispness in 2 minutes, and it's done. You're a hero every time. And those are like $12.
Not to mention you look cool. If you have guests over and you break out a blowtorch, instant street cred.
Of course. Yeah, you know what you're doing. Yeah.
So just to be clear on that, you're not searing it. You're using the blowtorch to sear it. You're not throwing it in a pan to sear.
No. Okay. No. I could. I bought a cast iron ridge skillet just for the sous vide to sear, but that makes a lot of mess, and it's iffy, and you have this perfectly cooked steak, and then you got to guess on the searing time. So I wanted to take that variable out of the equation and just got the torch, and now it, like you said, it's math, right? You just I like a little darker, boom, and slice it a little bit, throw it on the plate, and you're a hero every time.
The pro tip I would give is if you're giving that as a gift to somebody, if you go look for accessories, you want to put together a basket of you don't have to be anywhere near as fancy as the accessory availability would lead you to believe. You don't need a special pan, you don't need a special container with a lid, you don't need stasher bags. If you're going to put a lot of miles on them, it might be worth doing down the line, but you don't need them to start. You can literally store brand zip tops and stick them in and call it good. You don't have to get anywhere near as fiddly as, it's like lots of other sort of food based hobbies, whiskey and coffee and all those kinds of things. You can get as fancy as you wish, but to do the thing, you don't really need more than you probably already have in your kitchen.
Yeah. Yeah. You could cook a steak in a bucket with that sous vide if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And it still comes out amazing. Yeah.
I've still got to have dinner tonight, so now I'm really hungry. Okay. So Kelly, you're up for round 3, and keep in mind we're starting to push up against the time limit. So
yes. So, it turns out this is going to be a revenge pick because I'm going to make Frederick spend a little money because he's going to need a container for his handy dandy portable little kit of DJI and little magnetic flippy do 4K cameras and what have you. So this is called the Air Caddy. It is from Waterfield Bags, sfbags.com. This is my favorite. I have the blue one. It is beautiful. Nice. I'm here to tell you. This has a number of awesome features about it. So the point of it is called the Air Caddy, so that you can take the hoo-has and the whatnots, again being technical, of what you need when you're on a plane, and this fits in the seat pocket. And that's its whole point. And it comes in iPad size. So there's an iPad mini custom. Here's the thing: if you don't know anything about Waterfield /SF Bags, is that they custom make all of their devices for, or all of their gear for specific devices. So if somebody has an iPad mini, one of these is $59, and it's a little smaller than this one. This is for the iPad Pro, and this is $69. And for the 12.9-inch iPad Pro, it's $79. So there's this front pocket. And another thing about them is that all of their bags have this gold lining on the inside so that you can see in your bag what all is in there. So this front pocket is nice and flat, and it's got a little a couple little pouches on the side here. It's sewn in the middle, so you can tuck your phone in there, your AirPods. I mentioned I had been traveling, and I just got to use this actually on a plane, and I've had it for like 2 years, and finally got to actually stick it in a seat pocket. And as weird as it sounds, that was very exciting. And then in the back, there's a lot more pockets. There's two of the same sort of pockets down the one side here. Let's see if I can hold this up. So here's a pocket, and then here's another pocket, and then back here, it won't show up very well. It does, the zip goes across the top and all the way down the side. And back in this corner, I'm not going to show it to you, there's a narrower pocket, so you can drop your Apple Pencil there. And then this side is padded, and you can, it will fit, that's where your iPad goes. And in a case, if you don't have a whole lot of case, it will still fit. And then you've got this whole pocket in the middle. And what I've discovered is that this is my tech support bag. So when I'm headed to somebody's house, like let's just take an example at random. I'm off to visit my in-laws, and because they live about an hour away, so it's kind of an expedition to go there. But they're probably going to ask me something, and I want to make sure I'm prepared. So I'm going to take this and throw my iPad in it, maybe a couple of cables, a couple of adapters, a battery, because I always like to make sure that I have a battery with me. And then I can take this with me as a short trip kind of a thing, or like I've done small weekends for like weekend trips and things. And this is a really nice way to sort of like, I can have everything, like if it's a car trip, I have everything I want in the front seat with me. I can read on my iPad, or I've, dropped my Kindle in there. And you can put a whole bunch of stuff in here. I am a person who, if your bag is meant to hold 10 items, I will have 12 in it minimum at all times. And I have yet to stress this out. Throw a bunch of stuff in it, zip it up, and it's always ready to go. It looks awesome. All of their stuff is really great. And like I said, this one is the $69 version. It holds an iPad Pro, M1 or M2, and super great. I love it. It also fits nicely in my backpack. Like if I'm traveling with my laptop and stuff, I have kind of all my iPad bits of stuff all in one place, and that also makes it super convenient. So comes in a bunch of colors. I like the blue, but yeah, and you can use it for all kinds of things. So I think I might have just gotten back a tiny bit.
SF Bags, right?
Yes, sfbags.com.
Very nice, Kelly. Very nice.
Yeah.
So for my third round pick, I'm going to make this quick. This is kind of boring. I've got one under the desk here that you can't see because everything is plugged into it. We all have power strips, right? And the power strips, you kind of fight them because if you put a brick in it, then it blocks off something else. So I can't show this, but there will be an image on the screen for the viewers. But I want to recommend the Power Strip Tower from Lovin, Lovin. This thing sits, I guess it's about 8-10 inches high, and it has 14 outlets and 4 USB plugs in it, all in one unit. It's a tower. It's got 3 sides, and that's how you have all those outlets in it. 4 sides, 4 sides, and that's how you have all those outlets in it. It's $30. And there is a small surge protector in it to keep things, I'm not sure I'd want to plug everything in and trust it if I was having really expensive gear. But at the same time, plug this into a surge protector or a UPS, and I said that, uninterruptible power supply, UPS, and it'll protect your stuff. So it's something I saw this at a conference, and it's like, why didn't I see this before? Why hasn't somebody come up with this? Why do we always go long and not go tall? This solves the problems. So
today's Mac Voices is supported by the Mac Voices Slack. The Mac Voices Slack is where you can connect with the members of the Mac Voices Live panel and other Mac Voices patrons. Get in on the discussions, agree or disagree with our opinions, and get your voice heard. Sign up at patreon.com/MacVoices. And thanks for supporting Mac Voices.
For round 4, we're gonna try to respect the panelists' times here, and we're gonna switch things around a little bit. So Bart, I'm gonna let you start off round 4, and if I remember correctly, this is your coffee round.
This is my coffee round, and you bear in mind. So I'm going increasing price, right? And bear in mind that I went and bought 2 of these, so it definitely passes the test here. You know, Frederick, I couldn't. Not only could I not live without it, I couldn't live with only one. So during COVID, I became quite the coffee snob. So I have been fueled by homemade coffee here all evening. And I now grind my own beans. And it turns out that the cheap grinders that are made of blades do a terrible job because it all comes out random different sizes. A complete mess. So you need a burr grinder. And, well, let's just say I spent €270 on an amazing burr grinder from Baratza. And I love it to pieces. But I always have regular beans and espresso beans because sometimes I use my French press and sometimes I use my mocha pot. So I now have 2 of them in the kitchen, sitting next to each other with a sticker on them that says espresso and regular. And whatever I want, I just hit the button. It has a little timer, so I know that it's 12 seconds to fill up my French press. I just hit the button on the regular beans and I get my French press. And if I go to the other one and hit the button, I get 15 seconds for really fine ground stuff. For actually, that is for the AeroPress. Which I also use a lot. And the difference it makes when your coffee was a bean and then 10 minutes later it's in your cup, it is indescribable. Not to mention the kitchen always smells amazing because there is always it's 3 times a day there's like fresh coffee grind. So it's amazing. And it's just, you grind exactly what you want, exactly when you want it. It never gets stale. It never gets old. No more mason jars, just perfect coffee. And Baratza, amazing brand, and they have a lot of different models. I went with the Virtuoso, but depending on what you feel like the espresso, there's ones that go straight into the espresso holder. They have lots of different models. They're just amazing products.
Thank you, Bart. I wish I could. I want to get into coffee just so I can have all this cool gear and this process that you go through. You know,
the other thing I didn't pick, I bought a kettle with a thermometer built in, so I can now dial it to be at 93 degrees Celsius, and it will stay there for an hour.
Which one?
I actually got the, I don't remember off the top of my head. It was probably from the same company because it looks like it matches everything else in my kitchen. So in the morning, I just go in and I hit the button that say go to 90 degrees. I grind the coffee, then I make breakfast, and by the time my porridge is done, the water's at temperature, pour it over the coffee, wait 10 minutes while I eat my porridge, and then I have perfect coffee. And, I have my perfect insulated cup. So this lasts me until lunchtime, and then I do the same for the afternoon. And if I podcast at stupid o'clock in the evening, it lasts me until 10 o'clock at night as well.
I got to try that.
Yeah.
Bart, the grinder will change your life.
Yeah.
Bart, I'm a Keurig savage. I got to stop being a Keurig savage and actually make real coffee at some point.
Yeah.
It's part of the morning ritual. There's something really nice about having that kind of a ritual in the morning. And it smells amazing and tastes amazing.
Yeah. Bart, I know you have to go. So before we go on, I will ask you to let folks know where they can find you. And I'll say thank you once again for doing our holiday gift guide. It's always great to have you and really, really appreciate it.
I have so much fun, Chuck. I spent ages picking out my 4 things I like best and trying to spend your money. It's really good fun. So thank you for having me on again. I do 2 podcasts at lets-talk.ie. They're both monthly shows. So at the end of every month, I do a review of everything that happened in the world of Apple. The idea is instead of looking at all the trees all the time, we zoom out and we look at the forest. So what actually really matters in this month of Apple news. And then I do another show on photography middle of the month. And there's no rules. It's called Let's Talk Photography. And it's whatever floats my boat. I try to avoid gear talk. I like to keep it about the art and craft of photography. Sometimes it's me pontificating. Sometimes I'm explaining some sort of techie term the listeners care about. Sometimes I have a panel on. Sometimes I do an interview. It could be anything. It's going to be about photography, and I'm going to be passionate about it. That's kind of the only rule. So let's-talk.ie.
Great. Thank you so much. Happy holidays to you and yours. And we will definitely see you back here on Mac Voices at some point.
I look forward to talking to you in 2023. Yes, indeed. Happy Christmas, or as we say here in Ireland, Nolig Shona Get. Basically, it's Irish for Happy Christmas.
Whatever you just said, right back to you.
Yeah.
This is likewise. Yeah. Mirrored right back at you.
Yeah. And feel free to stick around as long as you want, but this way you can drop out as you need to. So
I need to drop out, Chuck, because it's 10 p.m. and I haven't started dinner yet. I have better half in the other room who has sort of been looking at me going, you said you were podcasting. Did you really mean to be this late?
Yeah. No
Take
problem.
out.
So anyway.
Thank you, Bart.
Apologies.
Anyway, see you, folks.
Take care.
See ya.
Kelly, I know you have a bit of a heart out too, so I'm going to ask you for your fourth round pick. What do you got?
Well, it was gonna. Well, I was rethinking it, and I decided to go with my original pick, because the thing I was gonna pick instead was a pick that I had last year. So, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna bring that back anyway. I'm calling an audible right here, and so full disclosure, I'm going to pick a book, and I have known the author since before years started with 2. So just to put that out there, full disclosure, we're very, very old friends. My friend Aaron Hockley is also known as the tech photo guy, and he wrote a book called The Computer Ate My Photos. And it's about artificial intelligence and photography. And he talks about the things that your phone can do, like with your pictures, ways to manage your photos. And it's super great. Aaron's been a photographer for a long time. He's he was I'm going to get it wrong, but he was like the president of the Photography Association of Oregon. I don't remember the exact name of it, but he's won awards for his photos. When he realized the quality of pictures he could take with his photos, he decided to go start entering iPhone photos in competitions, and has won competitions with pictures he made on his phone. And the full title is The Computer Ate My Photos, Artificial Intelligence and the Future of Photography. And the reason that it's interesting to me is because it's very approachable. His book, it's not meant for, I mean, it's a fun read if you're a nerd, but if you're not a nerd, you're still going to get a lot of interesting information out of it. And it will help better inform you about what kinds of things are the strengths and weaknesses of sort of different picture taking mechanisms that you may have, and helps you figure out the things that you want to do, and like where is the automation a really good thing to use and where is it sometimes kind of iffy. And you can find Aaron has a YouTube channel. More full disclosure, he occasionally talks to me about stuff over there, so you can sometimes find more of my Orange office over on his channel as we talk about things like upgrading gear and iPhone photography tips if you want to just make your pictures better and not necessarily buy a new phone in order to do that. He has a lot of tips for that sort of thing, and does a lot because he started out and still does a lot of SLR photography, and then DSLR photography, and also primarily digital. He has been through that entire evolution and can tell you about all kinds of stuff with lots of experience, and really smart, really entertaining. And the book is really approachable. Like I said, it's a reasonably quick read if you want to just sit down and carve out some time for it. And I have it. I bought it. I read it. I really like it. And it's one of those things that just sort of helps better inform the kind of pictures that you make, and help you make the best use of the tools that you have. So like sitting down and reading parts of this book, or even the whole book, will upgrade all of your equipment just because you have a better understanding of where the capabilities are stronger and maybe not so. And when you want to let the automation take care of things for you, or the AI take care of things for you, and when that's something that you may want to keep under your own control, and then help you also spend your time effectively. So you're not spending it on the stuff that you don't need to do. So, yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Great.
Very
Thank
cool.
you. Thank you. I know you have to go too, so I will let you tell folks where they can find you, and then Frederick and I are going to duke it out for the last of the round 4.
Before I forget, the book is $12.99. I believe that's for the paperback. I don't remember what the digital version situation is, but it's $12.99. Also very nice. And it's like I said, it's paperback. It's a nice gift. You can find me on Tuesday nights doing my very best to drive Chuck far away from the topic he decided to start out with on MacVoices. The rest of the time, you can find me over on the Incomparable Network, where I talk about nerdy things like Westworld, which is where Greetings from the Uncanny Valley is a show that I do with Don Melton. I also have a show called I Want My MCU TV, where we talk about the latest Marvel Entertainment unit coming from Disney Plus. And you can sometimes find me when Mike Rose and I can find time to record over at aftershowpodcast.com. And at least in the short term, you can still find me shooting my mouth off on Twitter until that no longer becomes a viable option. And when I have a chance to resurrect it, you will also be able to find me over at theslice.net, where I will give you slices of information about technology, primarily Apple stuff, and the ways that you can use it to make things better.
Excellent.
Love it. Love it.
Kelly, thanks so much. And again, I know you have to go. Thank you for this. Happy holidays. Yes. And we'll see you back
and
here
to
soon.
You. Yes. Thanks so much. And I appreciate, I'll let everybody know my Amazon wish list is public. My birthday is in the middle of November. So if you're seeing this before that, there may still be time to send something off that list this way. I mean, I got to put it out there. If I say it enough times, it's true, right? Like being king of the north.
Yeah.
Right.
Put all the things I mentioned on that list. Everything I mentioned, put them on that list.
Yeah.
I only have 2 of them right now, but I'm on my way. So I'll make sure.
There you go. There you go.
All right.
Thanks
so
Kelly.
much.
Take care.
Bye, guys.
See ya. Nice meeting.
Okay, Frederick, they're gone. What are you going to do to me for round 4?
I'm going to go gentle.
There are no witnesses now, so
I know. Yeah. Go buy the new MacBook. No, there's actually things. Can I do 2 picks?
Sure.
Okay, and I'll be brief because I know we had to go. But the first one is software. So, are you familiar with a company called LumaTouch, Chuck?
Oh, absolutely.
So they make LumaFusion. They just revved it to version, I think, 3.2 or 3.3. But if you don't know what LumaFusion is, the app I'm talking about, if you don't know what it is, it's an iOS app currently. And I say currently because presumably they're working on an Android version. But it's an iOS app that is essentially Final Cut Pro or Premiere or DaVinci Resolve on a mobile device like your iPad and or your phone. And it's amazing. And it kind of goes into this whole do more with less in smaller gear kind of modality that I'm working in. Because now I can shoot with all those toys that I showed you. I can shoot with those toys and import them into the iPad or on an external drive like this, plugged into the iPad, and edit right there. And if you're on an M1 Mac, LumaFusion will run on that Mac as well as a regular Mac app. So you have a full workflow between starting an edit on your phone if you wanted to, and then doing more on a larger screen like an iPad, and then maybe either finishing on the iPad or finishing on the Mac. And it just kind of plugs in that hole that's been missing of pro level tools for video editing on the mobile devices. Now that the processors in those devices are ridiculously powerful, now we can get stuff done and actually create content there. Especially when you're talking about using, like small cameras like this, it just starts making sense. I can go shoot, maybe I'm doing an interview or just a monologue or something. I can go shoot and then sit at a Starbucks and import all my footage, put on some headphones, and go to town with Apple Pencil on editing the footage, and even publish it from there if I wanted to. So it just kind of changes the paradigm a little bit. And the second thing, Chuck, is this. So, let me prepare here. So avert your eyes while I get this set up.
Here it comes.
No, I'm kidding. So this here is my everyday carry. My everyday carry bag, and this is a tactical shoulder bag that I bought off of Amazon, and I'll give you the price in a second. So get your wallet ready. But I bought it off of Amazon, and I'm ex-military. I'm an ex-military combat photojournalist, so I like the tactical kind of feel to things, and this is tactical, right? I've got a attachment here with my sunglasses on there, or I swap them out for these if I'm not using them. But the cool thing about this bag is it's just a simple bag. There's nothing special about it other than how it looks. But inside, I keep 2 of these guys. These are Peak Design accessory bags. And in each one of them, I have various accessories for various things. Like in this one, I've got all my power cables, extra charging batteries, all those little bits and baubles that I need are in this one. And then in this one, I have camera accessories for all those the little cameras that I had. So they all just kind of go in here and they sit neatly. The reason that I separate them like that is I have a bag problem, right? So I like bags, and sometimes I need a backpack with all my cameras and lenses, or if I'm using a proper camera, quote proper camera. Or sometimes I just need this. Sometimes I'm traveling. I need something bigger because I'm hiking somewhere. And taking all of your stuff out of one bag and reassembling it into another bag is tedious. So I came to the realization one day, like, you need bags within bags. So I can just take these out and put them in the other bag, and I'm good to go. So now the bag becomes just a shell depending on what I'm doing that day. Like, this is my everyday bag, so this is always with me. But if I'm going on a shoot, I can just pop these two things out, throw them in my Peak Design backpack, and I have all the stuff that I need with me. So it kind of works that way. This bag, which I'm liking, I've only had it for a couple weeks now. This bag was on Amazon for $27 for the bag. Wow. This bag is 20, and that's the thing. So I was solving for a couple of things when I got that bag. So number one, if I'm in an everyday sort of, I don't know where I'm going to be, like I may go have lunch in San Francisco or Oakland, or, maybe up to Sacramento, whatever. I have no idea where I'm going to be at any given time. So I want a bag that's with me that is nondescript and doesn't scream, there's expensive camera gear in here, right? So I just wanted a regular old bag. And it turns out, if you're buying something that's not necessarily targeted at photographers, it's relatively cheap, right? So that bag is not targeted at photographers. It's just a tactical bag. And I'll give you the link to it. Just a tactical bag, and you put whatever the heck you want to put in it. I put Peak Design photography related bags inside of it, and now I have the best of both worlds. And because it was so cheap, I don't care about it. I can beat it up, bang it up. If I need another one, I'll just order another one and put them in there. But it's been great so far, and the mindset shift, I think, is the important tip here of compartmentalizing your gear into your bag, so that if you need to switch bags to be more appropriate for a given situation, it's not, a tedious kind of effort of taking I got cables in this pocket and, extra batteries over there and ND filters over there. They're all in these little self-contained packs that then go in your bag. I even have one of those Peak Design accessory bags for toiletry items. So same exact bag, but it has all the toiletry items in it. So if I'm traveling, that goes in the bag, and I'm good to go. So it sort of streamlines and modularizes your life versus being scattered and kind of stuck in one way of doing things.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of bags in bags, just for organization purposes. It seems like such, almost a silly thing, but it's so nice because then if something doesn't fit somewhere, you can move it to another compartment. Or, depending on which big bag we're talking about, or if there's something you don't need for a particular trip, instead of having to take out 25 pieces, you just pull out that bag, that inside bag, and set it off to the side and go. So I love that. But that looks like a heck of a bag for $27.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. It's robust. It feels military spec almost. It gets the job done. There's no perfect bag, as you and I know, right? Which is evidenced by a closet I have over there full of bags, right?
I got the same bag. Yep.
Yeah, and you can't get rid of them, and you get but this one, I think I'm narrowing it down as I learn different things, like compartmentalization and nondescriptness of the outer bag, and inside the bag you have utility. All those things kind of come into play. It's not just look at that great camera bag at the camera store, I'm going to get that one, it's going to solve all my problems. There's no one bag to solve all your problems, no matter what you're doing. You're a photographer or whatever. There's no one bag if you're creating any kind of content that's going to solve all your issues. So, I've come to that realization over the past couple of months, and now there's a suite of bags depending on what I need to be doing. Like I said, I'm hiking or I'm on, that kind of adventure, backpack all the way, smaller bags go in the backpack. Every day, this tactical bag. Or if I'm going on a long trip, then I need the toiletry bag, and some other bags can go in the bag, right? So it just works. It's a good system.
Yeah. I like it. I'm definitely going to check the bag out because I like the look of it too, as well as it being a functional bag. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to finish small, which I really hadn't planned to do, but that's the way it's going to work out. This is an Anker USB 3.0 hub, and it's a small one. It's got a 2-foot cable to it, so it's not like you have to have it right up against your computer. It does have the old style USB connection, so you're probably going to need one of those little adapters if you have, pardon me, a USB-C MacBook or MacBook Pro, but it's a small price to pay. And what you get is you get 4 connections, 4 USB 3.0 connections, so that you can connect 3 different devices, drives or cameras or whatever to this. And the new MacBooks, especially the Air, the MacBook Air, and the smaller MacBooks, have a limited amount of ports. You need more ports. You need more things to plug in, and especially if you have legacy material, that's what you want. Now you can get obviously USB-C ports on these things, but I'm not quite anxious to spend that much money when those little adapters are so cheap. And frankly, I have so many things that are still this style plug. So, and it's Anker. What can I tell you? It's a great little device. And to Frederick's point, drop this in a bag somewhere and you have a ridiculous amount of connectivity, or just put it on your desk. And because of the 2-foot extension, you can have all those things that you're connected to over there, away from you, out of the way, but still connected to your device.
Yeah.
And Anker makes great stuff. So, go check it out by all means.
Cool.
Frederick, thank you. I'm sorry nobody was here to witness that last one, because I'm not sure if that was your best pick, but that was an awfully good one, and it also probably helped me spend some more money.
Good. That's and I put the link in the chat here so you can get it.
Yeah, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So obviously, where can folks find you? I know you've been off for a little while, but you're back in action. What do you? Where can we follow what you're doing?
Yeah. TWIP's been going strong for, throughout all this craziness. But you can find me at thisweekinphoto.com. That's where the podcast is published, and that's my Rome, right? All roads lead to thisweekinphoto.com. But a little bit of news I'll throw on top of that. I don't know if you heard, but we announced last week that This Week in Photo has been acquired by SmugMug Flickr. So so now This Week in Photo, or TWIP, is it's the third brand in that trifecta of photography brands. So you got SmugMug, you got Flickr, and now you have This Week in Photo as part of that sort of constellation of brands there. So that's what I've been up to over the last couple of weeks, pushing that out.
Yeah, congratulations. That's fantastic. I'm a huge Flickr fan. So that's really great news.
Great. Make sure you're part of the TWIP Flickr group. It's in there.
I will.
Photo.
I will. Yep. Thank you. Great.
Yes.
So, happy holidays. Thank you so much for doing this.
Same to you. Thanks for the invite.
Yeah,
I would never say no to this. I would never say no. I'll always be here if it's at all possible.
Well, and I know sometimes life gets in the way of these things, but you're always welcome anytime.
Thank you.
Folks, I'm Chuck Joyner. This has been a very expensive MacVoices Holiday Gift Guide for me anyway. Maybe it was for you too, but just think of all that cool stuff you're going to have. He's doing it to me. Just a quick reminder that the links for all this stuff will be in the show notes for this episode. They're in the master list on the MacVoices website, and also in our Flipboard magazine, our MacVoices 2022 Holiday Gift Guide Flipboard magazine. So go check it out. Until the next time, and as always, thanks for watching.
Visit MacVoices.com for show notes and to connect with Chuck on social media. Get involved in our Facebook group or like our Facebook page, and get more out of your Apple tech with MacVoices Magazine, free on Flipboard and on the web. And if you find value in it all, consider supporting us through either our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/MacVoices, or by making a one-time donation via the PayPal link on our front page and in the show notes of each episode. You will join these fine people who help bring you Mac Voices. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CacheFly at cachefly.com.